Welcome to another startup and complete car documentation. What we have today is a 1998 Ford Contour SE.
This Contour is painted in dark green satin metallic.
You have storage on the front door panels, and you have power windows, locks, and mirrors.
It has a gray stone interior with cloth seating surfaces.
The front seats are manually adjusted. And now that we're behind the wheel, let's go ahead and start the engine.
When the Ford Tempo ended production in 1994, Ford would introduce a replacement for the North American market, and that car was the Ford Contour. In Ford's lineup, it would slot between the smaller Escort and the larger Taurus. The Contour brought some European flair as well, as the Contour was heavily based on the first-generation Ford Mondeo, a model sold in many international markets and often associated with Ford of Europe. The Contour was produced for a single generation, spanning from model years 1995 through 2000. The Contour also had a Mercury twin known as the Mercury Mystique. The Contour rode on Ford's CDW27 platform, which, aside from underpinning the international Mondeo, also underpinned the 1999 to 2002 Mercury Cougar two-door coupe. The biggest update for the Contour came for model year 1998 in the form of a mid-cycle facelift. That year, the Contour and Mystique received some updated, more bold exterior styling, and that year also saw the addition of the high-performance SVT Contour. SVT models received performance upgrades not only in increased power output from the V6 engine, but also in things like suspension tuning as well. The Contour was offered with two different engines, a 2-liter inline-4, which this one has, and a 2.5-liter V6. Available transmissions included either a 5-speed manual or a 4-speed automatic. Trim levels for the non-SVT 98 Contour included Base, GL, LX, and SE.
In the instrument cluster, you have 4 analog gauges, which are your tachometer, speedometer, fuel gauge, and temperature gauge. That button is for your trip reset, and on top of the steering column is your hazard switch. It has a 4-spoke design steering wheel. It does house your cruise controls. There are comfort grips all around the rim, and the steering wheel is tilt only. Your aforementioned power mirror controls, your headlight switch, rear defroster, climate vent for the driver. On this side you have your high beam and turn signal stalk. And on this side you got your wiper stalk. Going down the center of the interior, you have your central climate vents along with a little storage area, a digital clock, your panel dimmer, very simple single zone climate controls. Below that is your simple radio head unit. It is AM FM with a cassette player. Below that you have a little bit of storage, the cigarette lighter, which also doubles as a power outlet. You also have two cup holders in front of the shifter. Some storage, the vehicle's hand-operated parking brake, storage and a cup holder for rear passengers, and the driver's seat also gets a little armrest. Both sun visors do have vanity mirrors. Driver's one gets a cover. Manually dimming rear view. On the overhead console, you have your overhead lighting. These are adjustable. And the power controls for your sunroof. Simple, but very appealing little car. But now, let's go ahead and roll down the driver's window and take a look at the engine bay. The driver's window is automatic down.
This one has 14-inch steel rims with hubcaps. Powering this car is the Contour's base engine for '98, which is Ford's Z-Tech 2-liter naturally aspirated inline-4. This power plant includes dual overhead camshafts, 4 valves per cylinder, as well as variable valve timing. Horsepower is rated at 125 at 5,500 RPM, while torque is rated at 130 at 4,000 RPM. Power is sent to the front wheels via this Contour's optional 4-speed automatic transmission with low gear selection. Running on regular unleaded with a 14.5-gallon fuel tank, updated EPA estimates for a Contour equipped like this one are 21 mpg in the city and 30 mpg on the highway. It has a McPherson strut front suspension and a multi-link rear suspension. As for brakes, the two available setups are either front discs and rear drums or 4-wheel discs.
As you saw before, rear passengers do get a little bit of storage and a cup holder. And space back here is someone who's about 6'1". The driver's seat is set to someone of my size. And this is a little bit tight back here. Not the worst at all. Super fascinated to be able to check one of these out. Not a car you see all that often. Single exhaust.
The Contour's trunk offers 13.9 cubic feet of space.
And as you saw earlier, the fuel cap is on the passenger side. Anyhow, thanks for checking out this tour of this 1998 Ford Contour. And as always, stay on the lookout for future tours.